Hello, good evening and welcome to the programme.
Here's a look at tonight's main stories. A mother's campaign about the dangers of drugs heads to number 10 after her teenage son died taking ecstasy in Ibiza.
Ryan obviously thought he was invincible, it wouldn't happen to him, as a lot of youngsters do. They go clubbing, festivals, they take something and it's got to stop.
Also this evening, the region's pubs prepare for a World Cup bonanza as bosses predict an extra 5 million pints will be pulled tonight.
Is this England's most dedicated fan? Ian's seen more than 100 games in over 40 countries, but today he's had to work.
And 1,600 horsepower and zero emissions, engineers prepared to attempt a new world land speed record. Hello from Tanya and me, and welcome to the programme.
First tonight, the mother of a teenager from Essex who died after taking drugs at a nightclub in Ibiza is warning other youngsters that taking just one pill can kill.
Ryan Long from Southend was on his first lads' holiday last summer when he took ecstasy and cocaine. Doctors placed the 18-year-old into a coma, but they couldn't save him.
Since then, his mum Angie has been raising awareness and has even caught the attention of the Prime Minister. Now she's taken the decision to publicly share a photo of Ryan while in hospital, as Joe Caution reports.
Ryan was happy-go-lucky, loved his sport, very keen scuba diver, used to swim for Essex, just got into his DJing, loved going to the studio. This was taken at his brother's prom 2 days before he flew out, and this is actually Ryan 5 days later on life support, and this is what we faced when we got to Ibiza.
This is the first time Angie Long has shared this photo of her son Ryan publicly, but she wants the world to see just how quickly life can change when taking drugs.
And obviously his phone on his pillow, playing his music, trying to stimulate his brain and get some activity going. Ryan obviously thought he was invincible, it wouldn't happen to him, as a lot of youngsters do. They're in these situations that they go clubbing, festivals, concerts, whatever it is, and they take something and it's got to stop. The awareness needs to be out there for the youngsters. He knew the risks and obviously had reminded him of the risks before they went, and early hours of the following morning I got a phone call from his friend explaining that he was in, obviously I could hear the sirens, and he was in the back of an ambulance being worked on, and obviously he was in a very bad way.
Ryan was placed in a coma, but he died 3 days later. His inquest identified MDMA and cocaine as his cause of death.
These posters are designed to obviously raise the awareness.
Working with drug support charity Open Road, Angie's created custom leaflets and beer mats to place in pubs and bars across Essex to warn others that one pill can kill.
I think the message to young people is, please don't be afraid to say something. If you're out with friends and somebody has taken something, we want to help those individuals. So please, you're not going to get into trouble. You're not going to be in trouble for telling somebody. It's about getting the help.
And last week, Angie's campaign took her to Westminster, where Ryan's story got the attention of the Prime Minister too.
I have to say, as a father of a 17-year-old boy, I find it particularly hard to hear. And no mother should have to experience what Angie has experienced.
There should be no stigma attached to this. It's out there, it's never going to change. In an ideal world, yes, no drugs, but it's just not possible. So it needs education to the youngsters. If no parent has to go through this, it would mean Ryan's legacy lives on. And that is the whole point of this, is keeping his name out there and nobody to forget this story.
Joe Caution with that report. In other news tonight, a man who crashed into two pedestrians, killing one of them on Christmas Eve, is facing further charges. Nikolai Breaker from Heathgate in Norwich has already appeared in court and admitted drink driving after the crash in Barrack Street in the city. The 48-year-old is now facing charges of causing death by careless driving and causing serious injury by careless driving. He appeared before magistrates this morning.
A man has been jailed for 7 years after raping a woman at a hotel in Ipswich. Liam Blanchfield physically and verbally assaulted the woman in June last year. The 25-year-old from Northamptonshire was also given an indefinite restraining order.
Police are investigating whether two ram raids in Cambridgeshire in the past 2 days are connected. This morning, a stolen telehandler and two other vehicles were used to remove a cash machine from Asda on Ness Road in Burwell. Tens of thousands of pounds were taken from a nationwide branch in Ramsey yesterday. Police say they're looking into whether the raids are linked.
Well, next tonight to the small matter of the World Cup as the region prepares to get behind the England men's team.
Yeah, it's come round. They kick off in Dallas in just under 3 hours' time against Croatia, with venues here hoping for a big financial boost as they welcome the fans.
Yes, pub bookings have gone up by almost 300% across the country, with an extra 5 million pints predicted to be poured for England's opening match this evening.
That is a lot of libation. Verity Wishart is at the Riverside Inn in Chelmsford. Verity, good evening. We know they're not going to be serving 5 million there, but I imagine it's all quiet at the moment, but it is starting to fill up.
Good evening, David. Good evening, Tanya. Absolutely. As you can see, it's starting to fill up here. Fans taking their seats ahead of the big game tonight. And what a spot for it. The sun is shining, the flags are flying, and there's a big screen behind me here at the Riverside Inn in Chelmsford for people to watch the main event. And we'll speak to the landlady, Ruby, in just a moment. But first of all, World Cup fever has been spreading across the region. And earlier today, we went to visit Paul and Nikki's house in Chelmsford, which, as you can see from this footage here, is absolutely covered in England flags. They said it took them 9 hours to put up this display, and it's gone viral on social media. And I don't think we'll be getting any prizes for guessing who they might be backing this year.
I started off with one little flag, and I just grew and grew. It's just like people may know me because I do my Christmas lights. I've been doing Christmas lights for 21 years. 21 years ago, I started off with one little light. And I just grow and grow and grow. And then this time I just bought one flag and I just grew. And people know me because I don't do things by halves.
Well, of course, the hope is that this is going to be a celebratory event. But Essex Police today did issue a warning, especially around drink and drug driving. Obviously, the matches this year are later, pubs are open later, so they had this message.
The message is very simple. If you're driving, don't drink, and please don't take drugs, especially if you're driving. People also fail to remember that actually drugs remain in the system a lot longer than drink, anything up to 7 days. And also if you're out with people and you see someone drinking or taking drugs and you know they're driving, just have that conversation.
Yes, an important message there. But the hope is that the World Cup is going to be a boost for hospitality. And we're now joined by Ruby, the landlady here at the Riverside Inn. Ruby, thank you so much for having us and hosting us this evening. It looks fantastic. So first of all, tell us how long it's taken to get this all set up.
We have been planning for the World Cup since last summer. We have obviously put in a very large screen that has taken lots and lots of months of planning to get in place. We have done lots of decorations. We have 5 new staff that we put in place. So it has taken a lot of preparation.
Amazing. It looks fab, as I say. And in terms of the resources, are you hoping that the World Cup this season, this summer, is going to bring in some needed revenue for pubs across the region?
Absolutely. As everyone knows, the hospitality industry is really struggling at the moment. So hopefully this will give us the push that we need to get everyone through the summer. So if you can support your local pub, restaurant, bar throughout this World Cup season and beyond, do, because they definitely need it.
Oh, Ruby, thank you very much. And best of luck for you for the summer and for England, of course, tonight. We're going to get down here and get amongst it with some of the fans here. Russell, first of all. Hello, Russell.
Hiya,
can you give us your predictions for tonight's game?
England 3-0, bring on Ghana.
Come on, you heard it here first. And obviously the games are later this evening. What do you make of that, Mark?
I don't mind it, 9 o'clock, easy time for me. Love it.
Happy days, no complaints here. So I guess the hope is that, of course, it's going to come home. Let's see what these lads think. Do you reckon it's coming home, guys?
Yeah, I do, to be honest. Like, it's going to be a hard group, but whoever knows, like, anything can happen.
And
Hopefully it does.
And if you've got a message for the boys tonight?
Just stay dedicated and get through it. You just got to stick together.
Absolutely. Have you got the percussion there? There we go. That's the spirit, isn't it? Well, just a couple of hours to go until England take on Croatia in their first World Cup match of 2026.
Lovely stuff, Eddie. They won't be as subdued later, and lovely to see you're wearing the England colours as well tonight.
Yes, she is, looking the part. Thanks, Verity. And a reminder, just in case you needed it, that you can watch the match live right here on ITV1. Coverage starts at 8 o'clock.
It ain't going to be that calm later, is it? You can
No,
say they're all
oh my
really
gosh,
calm.
it's going to be
a few more pints.
and-
Yeah, they've
yeah.
had a few of those 5 million pints by then. Next, what could soon become the world's fastest hydrogen-powered car is being put through its paces at RAF Wittering in Cambridgeshire this week as engineers look to set a new zero-emission land speed record.
Yes, a JCB wants to make history with a vehicle designed to top speeds of 350 miles an hour. Emma Volney reports.
Blink and you'll miss it. The runway here at RAF Wittering near Stamford, a test track for the hydrogen-powered car designed to be the fastest the world has ever seen. Today, reaching speeds of around 170 miles per hour. What was that like for you?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, it's the first time seeing the vehicle. I think you got up into third gear and you can hear those gear changes, but just it looks fast standing still. It was even better seeing it go. It's brilliant.
It's the first time I've seen it run, so really great to be here. We've waited a little while and yeah, really impressive.
But the aim is to break this, the diesel record of 350 miles per hour set in 2006.
When you look at the quality of the engineering...
And they're using the same driver, former fighter pilot, Wing Commander Andy Green.
This will sound really silly, but the simple thing is the world comes at you at a rate you simply wouldn't believe. So this car has 1,600 horsepower. It sets off and it starts driving and it just keeps accelerating and accelerating and accelerating. And the horizon comes at you faster and faster and it just keeps going. It's astonishing. I'm very lucky not only to have had the world's best day job flying jet fighters for the Royal Air Force, but I trained as a mathematician as well. So I find the science of this absolutely fascinating.
JCB previously made the world's fastest tractor. The Fast Track achieved a peak speed of 153 miles per hour. But this could be their most ambitious challenge yet.
So we're proving to the world that hydrogen combustion engines, which is what we've got in this car, are robust, high-performing engines. And what better way to do that than to do it with a land speed record car? Really significantly, we go from 80 horsepower to 800 horsepower. So we're 10 times the power in those engines. That's a complicated thing to do.
Today was just a test run. This summer, the team will take the car to Utah and attempt to go even faster, more than twice as fast, and make history. Emma Volney, ITV News.
That's extraordinary, isn't it?
No thanks.
Yeah, terrifying.
Yeah, I tell you what, they get the harvest in quickly with that tractor. I mean, it doesn't hang around, does it? They get the seeds in the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. OK, you're watching ITV News in the Anglia region. Thank you for joining us this evening. Still to come.
Yeah, running out of space soon. The England football fan who's turned himself into a human passport.
And it's humid. It's certainly getting hot as well. But just how hot is it going to get? Well, I'll have all the details coming up shortly.
Oh, yeah, it's getting hotter, isn't it? Before that, anyone who has a pet is being asked to take extra care when using any flea and tick treatments on them to help prevent contamination in our waterways.
Yes, 2 active ingredients found in the treatments are actually harmful to aquatic insects, such as mayflies and dragonflies. Now a national campaign has been launched to reduce harm to the environment. And Rip Birdie reports.
So I'm just going to apply that now. For many cat and dog owners, this will be a familiar sight. Flea and tick spot-on treatments like this one are applied to an animal's skin.
Well done, Lotus.
The treatment needs reapplying regularly, and there are concerns that some pet owners aren't following the instructions.
From an animal perspective, if these treatments are not applied properly, then they may not work properly. So they might give the protection that people hope that they will. So the right application is really important. There have been some studies recently, these chemicals found in our waterways and concerns that they could be causing damage to some of the insect life, the invertebrates in our waterways.
The risk of chemicals being washed off our pets and into our waterways, potentially harming wildlife, is highest in the warmer months between March and October. That's the peak flea and tick season. Dr Emily Nightingale is a vet working in Ashbocking in Ipswich and says it's a common problem for cats and dogs.
Fleas and ticks present a real challenge in veterinary medicine. They're an incredibly common parasite that we see, so much so that many of the cases of itchy skin, dermatitis, skin problems in general, it's very important to make sure we rule them out as a cause of the problem simply because they are so common.
So how can pet owners protect their animals whilst also protecting our waterways? The Veterinary Medicines Directorate has launched a new campaign with some simple steps.
Make sure that you're not getting on your hands, which is then going to lead to further contamination elsewhere. Ideally not letting your pet swim for many weeks after application, but certainly not within at least the first 4 days after application. That's the really key messaging here. And then once you've applied the product, with the pipette or the container, put that straight into the household waste. Don't rinse it, certainly don't recycle it as well. That's definitely going to lead to further contamination of the environment.
The campaign's overarching message is that a small change in how flea and tick spot-on treatments are used has the power to make a real difference for our waterways and their inhabitants. Amrit Birdie, ITV News.
That was a very satisfied dog. Again, you could tell just the way that, just a bit,
He
just
quite
a bit lower,
liked that,
bit lower.
It's his spa treatment.
He was having fun. Now, have you got any holiday plans this year? Well, I know you will have.
Maybe.
Definitely will have. This week, probably. We're staying at home or jetting off somewhere. Well, researchers say more of us are choosing staycations because for some it's cheaper, easier and it's less stressful than going abroad.
In fact, one holiday resort in Essex told us they've seen a rise in bookings since the conflict in the Middle East started. James Webster reports.
The annual holiday is, for around half of us, a week abroad. But researchers say this year a significant percentage of people are considering a UK destination instead of a foreign trip. In Essex, there's been a big rise in bookings at Potter's Resort's Five Lakes between Malden and Colchester.
That really kicked off when the conflict in the Middle East started, and we found people were looking to holiday in the UK rather than going abroad. They want the confidence of going somewhere they're familiar with, but also knowing that their cost will be capped, that they're not going to be surprised by what's happening.
When asked about holiday plans, 40% of people said this year they're more likely to choose a UK destination rather than going overseas. The main reasons why: lower costs, easier planning, shorter travelling and concerns about global conflicts. Visit England, which commissioned the research, says the trend could have a positive impact in areas that rely on tourism.
Oh, huge. I mean, if just 10% of the money that was spent overseas was spent in the UK, that would be an £8 billion boost to the economy. But people are very conscious of money, so they're looking for a deal, they're looking for an all-inclusive offer, inclined to book later and possibly a shorter trip. So for an industry that likes certainty and long-term bookings, that makes it really difficult to plan.
So we've been asking why our holiday makers have chosen trips that are closer to home.
We prefer it because of convenience. I can pack as much as I like, haven't got the airports.
It's so much easier knowing that you're going away and you can just get in the car, drive to where you want to go, a couple of hours.
If we travel abroad, you've got the airport and everything else of travelling to and from, both ends. This is just convenient, it's nice.
Despite concerns about overseas travel and the cost of living, ABTA, which represents hundreds of travel agents and tour operators, says demand for foreign travel remains strong.
Well, our research shows that about 30% of people will book within less than 4 weeks of when they actually travel. And I think that maybe it's because of uncertainty. You know, there's definitely a cost of living squeeze and people who want to make sure they've got the finances, and maybe they'll go for a shorter period or whatever. So they're keeping their options open, I think, until they go. But there's certainly no indication that they're not going to travel.
And whether it is at home or abroad, holidays remain a spending priority. A third of people questioned say they are planning to spend more on their holidays this year than last. James Webster, ITV News.
Wherever you go, if you stay at home, just Being in the sun's nice, isn't it?
I know. I am loving that it's warming up as well again
I thought
now.
you might be, yeah. Well, Ashley's got some good news for you as well.
Yes. Right, the ITV Evening News is at 6:30. Here are the headlines with Gamal.
Coming up, it begins. Excitement builds to fever pitch for England's World Cup opener. The fans and the players ready themselves for tonight's game against Croatia. The government today confirms a full apology is coming for survivors of the forced adoption scandal. And Jeremy Clarkson reveals he has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Right, Dillian mentioned there's a football match tonight, in case you hadn't noticed. We're going to return to that one for a minute to meet one of the biggest England fans there is.
Ian Odgers from Durham in Norfolk has watched them all over the world. He's only missed a handful of games in the last 17 years. But disaster has struck today because he's got to work.
Outrageous. So the grandfather is heading out to America next week and somewhat optimistically, he has already booked that flight for the final. Rob Setchell has been to see him.
By day, he works at a plastics firm in Thetford, but no high-vis can hide Ian's true passion.
It's coming home.
Tonight is a rare England game where the grandfather won't be in the stands. He had to work. But then he's heading straight back to America, as dedicated as he is hopeful.
I've taken a punt on us winning the group, so I fly to Atlanta, a couple of days there, Atlanta on to Mexico City, where I want to be for 4 days, fly back, and then ever the optimist, I've booked flights already for the semi-final with accommodation and the final, so yeah, it's going to be a busy 4 weeks.
Ian's missed just a handful of England games in the last 17 years. He spent tens of thousands of pounds, watched them in more than 40 countries, so many that he's running out of arm space for his tattooed passport stamp memories.
Well, that one's Russia. That's for the World Cup. I had 8 of those because I went in and out 4 times.
The 57-year-old is what's known as a top capper, so he gets priority tickets.
It's the first thing that goes in my calendar every year, so everything gets sort of booked around it. That throws in its own challenges, and the international window, as it's called, clashes with my wife's 60th birthday next year. But she knows sort of we can celebrate later or earlier.
What, the football's winning?
The football's winning, yeah. It has to. It has to.
As well as the most understanding wife in the world, Ian's also got 6 children. His son works with him. He's named Brandon Anfield Odgers, but he doesn't really like football. Lots of the office do, though, and they describe Ian's hobby as
crazy, but, you know, good on him. I love to hear the stories. Keeps us entertained.
Not a lot of people are that committed to the cause, and Ian is definitely one of those.
Somebody said to me last week, what's it like for England to win, the buzz, the vibe that you get? And I described it as it's an adult version of waking up on Christmas Day and thinking that Father Christmas has been. That's the only way you can describe it, you know, the buzz you get from it is just something else, yeah.
Let's hope Father Christmas turns up in America.
Yep.
Ian was born a couple of years after England's sole World Cup win. He's determined he will see the second. And while in body he's been at his desk today, in spirit he's already in America, dreaming that maybe, just maybe, this could be the one. Rob Setchell, ITV News, Thetford.
Oh my goodness, those tattoos are incredible.
He's got some amazing air miles as well.
He
And Rob
has.
told us, he won't believe this, he's only drawn America in the sweepstake.
Oh, yes.
So, I mean, that's just...
That's
rubbing
unlucky,
in.
yeah.
Fingers crossed for everyone.
Well, continuing the theme, big England fan Toby Clark has created his own unique tribute to the squad on a beach in Suffolk.
Yeah, look at that. He spent more than 8 hours designing a giant England badge out of stones on the sand near Lowestoft. Toby says a lot of people who've seen it think it's AI. It isn't. That's real. That'll get washed away by the tide.
Oh, weather. Now, if Ian had been lucky enough to be there tonight, it'd be quite humid, wouldn't it?
Well, actually, it may not feel a little bit similar, but the stadium is air conditioned. They will play very comfortably, but in and out of it, all of the comings and goings today, it is hot over there. So shall we take a look at the weather? It's 32 degrees and this is at 9 p.m. The humidity is 90%. Wow. So that means that when you add those numbers together, it feels more like around 38 or 40 degrees Celsius. Now, most of the players have said that they're in the stadium, but that's only for a very short space of time. But humidity is a theme that we're experiencing over here. So for people that may be going over just for a day or two and coming back, they're actually not going to land into weather that's too dissimilar.
All the fans know will want to come out the stadium. They'll be we're just going to hang around the stadium a bit longer.
But there is actually a connection with our weather. So let's just take a look at the jet stream. It generally brings all of the weather systems in our directions. There it is coming out of the eastern seaboard. There's an arc going up to Greenland. You may think, what has that got to do with anything? And then a bit going across the Atlantic. And it's creating a U-bend in the mid-Atlantic. So what's that doing? Well, actually, that's introducing all of the heat into Europe, and that's what we are going to be tapping into over the next few days. It's hot, it's humid, and it's certainly already a little bit uncomfortable to sleep for me, but temperatures are set to climb. Here's the details.
Greater Anglia sponsors iTV Anglia Weather.
Yes, well, you will have certainly noticed the humidity today, and the humidity, a key feature of the weather over the next few days. Always some bright and sunny spells around, and overall it's mostly dry. The reason I say it's mostly dry is with this type of air mass, it's not out of the realms of possibility that we'd have one or two thundery downpours in the evening. So let's just take a look at the pressure pattern. There is low pressure close to the northwest of the UK, a soggy, damp start for northwestern parts of the UK. But for us, as we head through Thursday, we're already tapping into that hot continental air, some very warm air building across the continent at the moment. You notice the blues on the charts here, and this is just the possibility of some thundery downpours. That will be through Thursday evening and through Friday evening as well. But as for the rest of this evening, one or two showers around, some cloud around as well, and temperatures only very slowly trickling back to around 16 degrees Celsius by tomorrow morning. So a warm, close and humid night. Now, temperatures will rapidly climb through Thursday. So bright and sunny spells around, but temperatures quickly climbing. As we head into the afternoon, maximum temperatures of 28 or 29 degrees Celsius. There is a southwesterly breeze, and it may just mitigate against that very hot feeling if you are out and about, but it is dry, and the best of the sunshine will be in the afternoon. There could be some coastal fog just lingering along eastern coastal areas for a time. Now, here are your times of high water. At Southend, 11:30 in the morning, and then again at 10 to midnight tomorrow evening. But let's quickly take a look at Friday. Another dry day to come. Lots of sunshine around. It's going to be breezy as well. We're still tapping into that very hot air with highs of 28 degrees Celsius and highs of 27 on Saturday. Coming up next, it's the pollen forecast.
Greater Anglia sponsors iTV Anglia Weather.
Making the most of summer. Piri sponsors iTV Pollen Count.
Well, we certainly are at the peak of the grass pollen season. A tricky few days for hay fever sufferers ahead. The pollen count is going to remain very high as we head through the next few days, and that pattern will continue from Sunday onwards. One of the main differences with this heat and the previous heat wave in May, it's those overnight temperatures, really hot overnight.
Uncomfortable.
No late news from us tonight. It's the football. Come on, England.
Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.